Tha1Radio with Community Speaks.
Tha1 will be collecting toys, gloves, socks, food, jackets, and blankets for the winter and holiday season to help support the Saytown Snappers, God's Property, Black Rose, Ella Austin, Love 24, and many other organizations helping people in need. Drop off any item at the Penthouse, 4063 East Houston, or at any station event.
Tha1Radio, San Antonio
and beyond.
You a bad girl and your friends bad too. Oh, you got the swag, saucy drip the swag goo. You a bad girl and your friends bad too. Oh, you got the swag, saucy drip the swag goo. Oh.
I may be young, but I'm ready to kill you all, my love. I told my girl you can get it. Don't slow it down, just let it go. So in love, I'll give it all away. Just don't tell nobody.
3,000 degrees. I ain't worried about them fucking over there, but they worry about me. I got a homeboy named Butter and another homeboy named Cheese. Oh, women, baby, I make it. Oh, women, baby, I make it.
I'm gonna turn this. Hey, with the monkeys. People think we monkey around, but we're too busy singing to put anybody down.
We're just trying to get nasty, and those aren't even really the words. But
we just trying to get nasty. That's not
good morning. Happy Friday, everybody.
Is yours on?
What do I do? Huh?
It's hers on.
Right here.
Put me on. Put you on.
Can you hear everything? Can you hear? I can hear. I'm on. Can you hear? Me.
Hit the apps at the bird's hop.
This one?
Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Woo. Yeah.
Y'all are in a weird Wednesday mood.
Because it's hump day.
It is hump day, and everybody's humping around.
When you show up to places and things are broken, you have to be in these moods.
Oh, you do, because you got to make it through.
There's a lot of buttons here, man. I don't know what they do.
Said editor at the top.
Oh, I don't.
Editor.
At the top.
Yes.
Right. Then look, I'm like, I said.
I don't be listening to nothing. I come in, I wreck shop, I start pulling cables. Just don't go here.
Morning show. Button at the top.
This one.
That's one.
Oh, get ready, y'all.
Copy code, paste code, encode.
That's a lot.
What'd you say?
Writing code. You writing code over there.
Don't copy the code, they ain't from the other thing.
I did the share link. Where do I put it?
Oh,
right here.
I guess.
Just all of it in here.
It's supposed to be an embedded link.
In
actually.
the oh, I can get that embedded link.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can.
This is a lot.
There's a lot going on. Oh, wait a minute. That should be. Hold on.
I don't know.
Can they hear us?
Are y'all
They
scientists?
can see us. Hey, everybody. Yes, we are scientists.
Are y'all
We are scientific.
tech people?
We are scientific.
Can y'all come fix my fire stick? Could somebody come fix my fire stick? My jailbroke fire stick.
Why is that so
And
funny to me?
then enable in-app browser navigation, back forward support, or no?
Wait.
Backslash.
No. We
Back-
just
add or save this one?
save.
Just this it?
Right.
Boom.
Boom.
Colon.
So what you need to do is
Hyperlink.
resize that. Could you, go back.
HTTPS.
It's going to say continue to the app. I need you to resize that at 300 all the way across the board, please.
And kilobytes.
No, go into the, don't even worry, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
it's 315 now. Is 315 enough or 300?
No, they need to be 300 across the board, and it
Needs
should
to
be
be
in my
300.
usually 3 sizes. But you can do it. You don't need to recopy it. You can go to the already.
The already situated.
Right.
Situation.
What's happening?
Nobody knows you're coming. But it's provocative.
What, is that what's going on right now? Why am I can't hear myself? I can hear my.
I love the movie 300.
You said 300 and it just took over
What happened?
the world. What are
Alright.
you doing?
I'm trying to figure out why I
Push your
can't.
buttons. You don't know you're
So many.
I can't hear me.
Are we at NASA?
Everybody else can hear you.
Can you hear me? Oh, I can hear me.
What is going on? It's a lot. I feel like I need to. Should I do something?
Don't push nothing. Don't touch nothing. I barely should be touching anything.
She said, "Is this NASA?"
Can you check and make sure that I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know how to look at it.
Absolutely.
But 300 seem doesn't read it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my The One Media Hub app, which you should have downloaded for only for 99 cents, where half of the money each month goes to organizations.
Yes.
But I want to say that it happens each month, but it happens when they send it to me, because apparently the money has to get to so much, and then they send the money.
Yes.
So I'm going to need you to get on that app download.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes.
And it's The One Media / then a space and hub. Right. Then you can go click the morning show button, and it wonderfully.
Make sure this is not just like one of our faces. 300 just seemed to be a bit big when I looked at the thing.
Oh,
Might have
really?
to switch it up. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. On
Was it
this
too
one,
big?
it is extremely huge.
Yeah. Can you see? Can you see how I trim my?
Look, this is what we can see. We can see clothes flop froze. Hey! The hair. Ooh.
Oh, you know why?
Because you put 3,000.
I would appreciate it.
I mean,
if
I
you
put
didn't.
300 each time, and
Please
it
do not.
pops up just.
I would appreciate if you didn't disparage. Stop academic shaming me just because I don't know numbers.
Numbers? Okay, look, let's talk about it. I like
It was an accident. I hit 300 and left the other numbers on there too.
what's really going on.
That's my bad.
It was a
They coming
billboard.
tomorrow.
Side of the building.
They coming what?
Tomorrow.
Who's coming tomorrow?
Hi, they're coming tomorrow.
Okay.
That's great.
Oh, today's guests are coming tomorrow?
I'm glad I just posted it. That
It's my.
the wrong
It's probably
day.
my fault.
It's okay.
I 100%
definitely
believe
your
it's my fault.
I'm sure it's your
100%.
fault.
But
Absolutely. 1,000%
I'm
all you
100%
on this one.
sure
We were
it's
here.
my fault.
We didn't.
I thought she told me Wednesday, but maybe
You know
not
the
so
good
much.
thing?
Yeah.
You know the good thing about it?
Uh-huh.
I still love you.
Hey, I
You know?
100%.
I just need to
You alright.
reschedule the listening, the meet and greet too.
No, the meet and greet is tonight.
It is.
She said we'll see you tomorrow morning, but we'll see you tonight.
Got you. So I don't have to call all the people
That's
back.
two CUs. See you tonight and tomorrow morning. That's two
All right,
CUs.
so we're going to see Erica, and we're going to meet Erica tonight at Jamaica at 7 o'clock. And then tomorrow morning, she'll be on the air. So boom. Same thing, same situation. We're here. All you need. Let's be honest.
And so blame me. I like
Let's
it.
be honest.
Everybody else does, so you might as well.
All right. We don't know, because girls here, we don't really know if our sound's right. We don't
Sounds
know
right.
nothing.
I mean, it sounds right. If it sounds right, it sounds right.
I mean, I guess.
It ain't wrong.
We don't have nobody to be like, mic check, mic check.
I always say my wife will let me know if this is
Why
all
did
whack.
this say Miss Nika on Twitter? What is going on right now?
I don't know. Nobody knows nothing. Nobody knows nothing.
I thought I shared something.
Hey, today's National Wine and Cheese Day.
It's also National Hot Fudge Sunday Day.
It is indeed. Also National Hire a Veteran Day.
Oh, wow.
Also, Nika did not post this crap.
Also National Thread the Needle Day, whatever that means, and National Merry-Go-Round Day. So go and hire yourself a veteran to serve you a hot fudge sundae while you eat your wine and cheese riding the merry-go-round.
Isn't Thread the Needle a dance? No?
No.
No?
Well, no.
I don't know what that is. Do they learn to mean thread? It says a needle, but it says the needle.
No. Thread the...
Thread the needle.
Let's find out, shall we? We got nothing else to do this morning.
Sure we do. We got to talk.
We're talking. We're talking about Thread the Needle Day.
We got things to talk about. First of all, we're going to talk about why people are just wrong and insensitive.
Because people are selfish and mean. Everybody's so mean right now. I just don't know.
Oh, yes. Apparently, it may be interpreted in a variety of ways. Thread the needle has multiple meanings. The literal meaning is taking thread and guiding it through a sewing needle. The metaphorical meaning is finding a path through two opposing views, often used by politicians. And then another meaning is a type of billiards move where the ball is shot precisely through.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
pathway.
I've heard that. Okay.
Also, it is used as a yoga pose.
It's not a real yoga pose.
And then finally, often employed in sports to describe a tight space in which to move the ball.
Thread the needle.
Thread the needle.
Yeah. Look
Or
at
when, or when Air Force pilots, in this city, that's a big thing, right? So when Air Force pilots fly just through like 2 miles.
I threaded the needle to get my big butt through that space
So
right
you
there.
have already celebrated threading the
I
needle.
did, because I was threading the needle to get through there. It's like, who is this for? Nika. That space is for Nika.
That's right.
That's the only one who go through there.
It's hers.
Y'all not going to do me like that.
You know, it was Shark Week and Shaq Week, and they put Shaq in a big Shark Tank.
Did they?
Yes, the biggest Shark Tank ever
Why
made.
does
or
Shaq
something.
have a week?
Well, because it's like a play on words. It's clever.
Let's talk about it.
Clever.
Can we talk about it?
Oh, hold on a second. So you notice
That's all I got.
a bad echo.
That's all I got.
You tell me that there's an echo. I don't know there's an echo.
Echo.
What is the echo? What is an echo? My English is horrible.
First of all, this is what I want to know.
Watch us on Facebook right now. Watch us on YouTube right now. Go to Facebook if you're already
in
on Facebook.
Messenger.
What opens in Messenger?
I don't
Say
know.
something. I'm just trying to get.
Y'all work at NASA. I just deliver the pizza or
See if you can
something.
get the video.
Go to the
They are in all
one.
kind of hate mode right now. How did Nanette find it? Where's she?
She's
at?
listening to the app, the One Radio app.
Oh.
But if you catch us on
She's
You
smart.
can see us on YouTube Live right now.
Right, but you can't see us on Facebook.
Right, you can't see
What
us
did you
on
just
Facebook.
tag
You
me
gotta
in?
click
What did you
on the
just tag me
Facebook
in?
link. We have shared our YouTube link on
Man,
Facebook.
let me tell you something.
Because
I'm looking
Facebook
for
is
it.
something else.
I am looking for it.
You're looking for what?
The link that you shared on Facebook.
It says opens in Messenger.
Okay, so open it in Messenger.
It will not allow me to do that.
Why not?
I'm trying to tell you.
Look, man, let me explain something. Please refresh. I don't know what to tell you. I shared the thing.
Yeah, but
Facebook
it
is on
just
some
opens
old-
to like your main page.
Facebook
Told
don't like
you.
this.
It doesn't really do a video or
Told
nothing. It
you.
just opens that.
I like that picture. Hold on. I don't know what to say.
It's just so funny. I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny.
I mean, it looks like it should be a video. Oh, wait. No, it's just got like your hours and stuff like that.
Nothing there.
I could send you a message.
Then I've shared it on I shared it on my Facebook page and it put a random Twitter post up there. This is what I'm saying. Facebook is literally like
Wilding out right now?
like getting us. Like they're like, no ma'am, no sir. We'll not allow you.
You will allow me.
Let's talk about me
You ain't gonna
mixing
share,
up
You ain't gonna
days.
share my information with the
I've been
world
mixing
and
up a
not
lot of
allow me
days
to
here
use your
lately.
service, sir.
Okay, what happened?
I mixed up today. I thought the state. I can hear us. There we are.
This is on YouTube.
Oh,
And we're sounding bad on YouTube right now?
no, it sounds good.
Oh, that
But I
sounds
thought
crazy.
today I was supposed to be here and the play people were coming, but they'll be here tomorrow. And then earlier this week, I thought I had a birthday dinner to go to yesterday, and it turned out it was actually on Wednesday. I'm like, I'm doing a terrible job with days of the week. I'm going to have to go back to kindergarten or something. Something's happening. I absolutely am losing it.
I don't like this.
And my knee hurts because I danced
Sound
in
better now?
heels on Sunday.
Sounds better now? Okay.
And on Wednesday, my knee is still hurting.
Oh,
Oh,
It's old people.
we weren't paying attention to anything you were just
I
saying.
know.
I'm sorry.
I don't care nothing about her.
Continue. Can you just say what you were saying, please, again?
I said I was dancing all night Sunday in heels,
Oh.
and I'm of the age where that has serious repercussions. And
Oh man,
there's an
Stuff.
echo in there too.
I was told Echo's gone. I'm told, so we're good. Echo's gone. What is she listening to? Nika, trust me. I got my engineer on the other side telling me Echo's gone.
Oh well, she can't hear.
are we
me.
in the
It's
past or are we in the future? Which is it? Because it's throwing me off to hear us while we talking and still being us.
We are in the future.
right.
Okay, so
I don't
we're in the
really know what's
future.
going on, but I will tell you this:
Listening
we're
to the
alive,
past.
and
Alive.
that's a fantastic thing.
Alive.
We are alive. Alive.
So if you click on this,
Y'all are, wow, there's a lot going on.
Right? And it gives you the link to that. Why does it do that?
I feel like, yes, one of y'all could definitely come redo my fire stick. I'm almost certain. all this clicking and links
how
and
would you love us, Facebook? I'm just gonna close Facebook.
there. What was that?
That's a different thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
This is-
it's
see, so we're live on Periscope, and Periscope seems to
hey
love
Periscope.
Periscope.
us.
loves
YouTube
us.
seems to love us.
You know,
So Twitter
Periscope
and
was
YouTube
gonna be
love us.
huge, but Facebook came along and was like, Periscope.
Man, Periscope, they shut them down.
Man, because I loved Periscope. I met some really great people all around the world while I was on Periscope. I would be talking, and people would come on from Russia. They're like, we just want to hear you talk because we're learning the language and all different stuff. It was great.
Very nice.
Yeah, keep talking.
Oh, I just like Periscope because it just, you know, when you go live on Facebook, it's cool, but it's people who already know you. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
But Periscope puts you in connection with, like I said, everywhere. So I met great people all around. I met a really great dude who lived in Dallas named Luther. Shout out Luther.
Big
And
shout out to Luther.
and we, you know, started becoming kind of, you know, Periscope friends and whatever. And he's a a trainer. So when I went to Dallas, he does this great fitness run walk through a beautiful park where like you're going and you're walking by lakes and stuff, and then you get to a certain place and you got to do dips, and then you keep going, and then you got to do squats here, and it is an amazing workout.
Awesome.
And I connected with him through Periscope, and then he just married this other beautiful person, and she's I want to say she's either she's an esthetician or she does some other kind of beauty stuff, and she's a beautiful black woman, and they make me believe in black love.
I love it.
I love it.
So I
They're
finally
awesome.
got them to do. So this is what I did. I shared it from Zay? The app. I shared it from the app, and the link actually went on Facebook. But it still takes you to the YouTube page, so you can actually share it from the app. But yeah,
this YouTube situation this Facebook situation is bananas.
Yeah, they don't like that we are great. They're trying to keep us from greatness.
All right, so I say we just keep it like this, and then talk about something, because I don't know, man. I'm tired of trying to mess with Facebook right
Absolutely. I agree. I agree.
now. I don't care with these.
I totally agree.
Sharing our information with the world, and then limit our ability to use their app because
They don't like.
what
They
is
don't
it
like
that you don't like, sir? Do you not like that we're talking politics every morning? I don't know.
Did y'all
I'm
play?
just
did y'all
trying to
actually
act
play
like
some
they're
music
locking us
on
down.
there?
There might be some technical.
All right, it might be. But
Did y'all,
right now,
did
they
y'all
locked us
play
down.
music on there? Because you know how they feel about people's
No,
music on.
we didn't play music. We haven't done any of those things. We've just been our fabulous selves. And heck, you're
My
on.
arm hurts.
Oh, okay, so I want to talk about some
Look at
things.
Okay, let's talk about
Right,
some
I want to
things.
talk about some things. I don't know. Look, who we're talking to at this point, but
Ourselves. I like us talking to us.
but I want to talk about some things
Let's do it.
because we haven't been on and we haven't talked. First, I would like to discuss R. Kelly's 20-minute confession. I was gonna ask. And
First of all, why?
why the confession?
Second of all, why? Third of all,
Why? all kind of whys, right?
I'm wondering if R. Kelly should just
Why?
go somewhere.
He should really just go somewhere. Like, he's trying so hard to be relevant and everything, and I'm just over it. Like, here's what sometimes people doing the most, and I'm like, how about you just sit down someplace and apologize? Like, hey, I've been a creep. I went and saw somebody about that. I got a therapist and we working it out. Like, I appreciate people apologize, like taking ownership and stuff.
Right.
I
I'm
don't
with you
like
on
we
that
just like gonna do all this other stuff, do all this other debating and talking about what I did and didn't do. Well, we know some of the stuff you did and it was awful. So just apologize and try to do better.
Right.
Yeah.
Sick of people.
Right.
I'm totally with you on that. I mean, when I was listening to it, my first thought was 20 minutes. Like, how many things?
Why
must
does
we
he like
confess?
making long songs
Man,
like
he
that?
likes to make movies.
Like,
He
th-
likes
that,
to make
like
movies
I'm like,
and
is this
music.
trapped in the closet again?
Right. No,
What
it's
is
not
this?
trapped in the closet. It's out the closet.
It's all out the closet.
So the second thing was just like the admitting of, yes, I like younger women. Yes, I did that. Yes, I did this. Yes, I did that. And then, of course, this was done to me.
Okay.
Situations.
I have a question. So he said he liked women of all ages, but they were all legal, right? He said that.
He said that.
But then he said, but he married Aaliyah. Wasn't she 15? So
Right.
how is that?
So that's not really truth. But
Well,
in
I
his
guess
mind,
in his mind, I guess if you could marry him, it's legal. I
Yeah.
guess it was legal in whatever state they let
Because he
15-year-olds
was
get married.
actually
But she
able
wasn't
to do
legal age, is what I'm saying.
right.
Well,
So-
again, going back to the state, right? So if she was of
Yeah.
legal age in whatever state, then
That-
yes,
and
she was of
that's
legal
how they
age.
were able to get married. They literally went someplace. It wasn't Illinois. They had to go to a different state.
Right.
So I
It
mean,
was about
just
what was socially acceptable.
I'm
right?
like, just
So-
because you can doesn't make it right.
Right.
Why are we still letting 15-year-olds get married anyway?
Right. And then of course I can't read.
I wish
it,
Jay Boogie would.
And I can't read the monitor. I mean, so does that? So would do? Or I think he said he was. Did he say he was molested? Or
He did say something
said he
about
was
that.
molested. He can't read, and he couldn't read the monitor on the awards.
And he couldn't read his contract. That's why he got some bad
He
deals.
couldn't read his contract.
Well,
So
I mean, that's
does
why
that-
you hire an attorney.
Mhm.
I mean, and if you a multi-platinum, so he went platinum with the public announcement. Why he didn't get a tutor back then? Why are we still talking about he can't read? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Choices, my friend, choices.
Yeah.
If you knew you couldn't read, you could have had somebody helping you read 50,000 times over by now.
Right.
So whose fault is that?
Right.
You too busy hitting on little girls. Get a tutor. Maybe get a tutor that and you can be in class with little girls. I don't know.
Well,
two birds, one stone.
It goes back to that. I mean, are we supposed to feel sorry for you type thing? You know how when people do so, wrong, and you hate them while they're alive, and then right before, they're about to pass or something, all of a sudden there's that feeling of sympathy or
I don't believe in lying
whatever.
at funerals. I'm not lying at no funerals.
But you know what I mean?
They say don't speak ill of the dead. You dead. You just don't say nothing.
Just don't say nothing.
But yeah, I don't like the lies, and I'm not gonna pretend like he is. And I give him credit. I can compartmentalize. R. Kelly has made some great music. He's a musical genius. He's still a creep.
Right.
The two things do not have to be. I think people get really caught up in the idea, like if they like a person for this, they feel like it's impossible that they did the other thing. Like with Bill Cosby, they're like, but he was America's dad. Yeah, I was like, he was America's dad, and he was banging out backs of white women in the 60s. It's all the same person.
Right.
It can happen.
You can be two things.
You can be two things.
Be right, or both people can't be wrong.
You can be two things. So stop tripping. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a difficult thing. So do you think, what do you think the reason why he put it on a 20-minute track for?
Because he needs y'all to start listening to R. Kelly music again.
It's also, I mean, as an
Kelly
artist,
got
it's
bills.
probably just his catharsis, right? It's just his way of letting it all out. Like, hey, look, this is not for the radio, so I don't have to make it 3 minutes and 36 seconds.
Right.
This is something
we already
just
know
for
R. Kelly for
people
long stuff.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, even the Closet Chronicles.
When that 20,
you know
22
what I mean?
episodes,
God.
an hour and a
22
half
episodes.
songs, right?
If it was not going to be for the radio, then he would have just created this very long one piece here, but then he split it up because he wanted him to be on the radio, right? So this, since ain't nobody checking for R. Kelly on the radio right now, he just figured, okay, let me just make this 20-minute kind of like letting it out.
Is it supposed to, I mean, I would think therapy, but is it supposed to bring him back in the spotlight? Because you just confessed all the bad stuff. So do we feel sorry for you and bring you back? Or do we hear all the stuff and be like,
I don't know. It depends on who you are.
I knew we should have liked you.
It didn't change anything. I'm still not giving R. Kelly any more of my money.
If people have problems with pedophilia on any level, and there are levels to it, right? Trying to do stuff with a baby is very different than trying to do stuff with a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old, even though they're not fully, of age. 17 is very different than 5.
And it's also different
4,
when
right?
the person is 19 and the girl is 17 or 18.
Exactly.
Versus
It's
17.
levels. It's levels
So
to
there's
everything.
levels to it. There's levels.
And I've had
48
several
now.
friends
But
say
if we-
things like, well, when I was 13, I was trying to holler at these old men. I get it. There is some, some of that is true where young girls are actively pursuing older dudes. But I still feel like it's up to the adult who knows better to say no. I still feel like that. I still feel like the adult has the accountability in that particular situation.
Right.
So,
but us as now, to continue what I was saying, us as fans or not, right? When is it our time to either pay attention or stop paying attention, right? Because obviously if you're gonna hit anybody like a celebrity, an R. Kelly or whatever, it's the hardest way to hit them is by ignoring them. Right, because this is what they live for, the spotlight, the attention, the
hardest way to hit them would be to ignore them.
To ignore them, right? So when do we ignore and when do we persecute? Like, where's that line too? When we start persecuting, I mean, there's certainly plenty of politicians over the past few years, over the past years that have gotten hit because of being creeps, right? Creeping on little girls or 14-year-olds going to the mall. There was this guy that almost won an election recently, and he was hitting on little girls in the mall when he was already a graduate of whatever. Then he was going to, try to find 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds and trying to be friends with them and stuff like that. And there was a huge public outcry about that here in the country. When the priests had their scandals, Catholic priests had their scandals, there was a huge public outcry.
Yeah.
When is it that there'll be a huge public outcry for R. Kelly, like being like this? And then, I haven't heard the song yet, but you're saying he admitted it on the song that this is what he's doing. So where is the huge public outcry? Or are we gonna go still to a concert? We still gonna listen to the music?
And I think that's what I was like. All right, so I guess you could just call him, call that a rap. Like, I don't know. And half of me felt I'm so depressed. I'm so at this whatever low.
Right.
That I'm just gonna put it out there, and this is what it's gonna be.
Okay.
Because after you hear it, it's like,
okay, yeah. It didn't switch your feeling any
you know what I'm
type of
saying?
way.
I'm like, dang, dude.
Right.
Like, I know if I do want to get you, I'm not paying over $2,500.
Yeah, but at what point? See, but there's still there's in your mind.
There's still a marketing point there, right?
In your mind, there's not like oh my gosh, like screw this guy. I'm never gonna throw out all his music, throw away erase everything from your hard drives. Like there isn't that. There's still like well, if I ever did want to get you to come and perform, that on some level there's still a market.
But I separate.
It's not a zero anymore.
Because when we first started talking about R. Kelly, I was like, man, does that mean we gotta take the music out, right? Because I'm thinking to myself, again, music and whatever. But then I also understand that you can be a great artist and you can also be a creep, right? So that doesn't mean the song is bad. It didn't turn bad.
I did not throw away any of my R. Kelly stuff. I don't know where it is, but I know I own several R. Kelly CDs, and I'm not pressed to throw them away. And if I find them, I might actually listen to them. I feel like he already got the money for those.
Right.
I'm not doing anything new.
Right.
And as stupid as it sounds, those are all pre-P to me. So they pre the P that I knew about.
They're pre the
that I knew about.
Not pre-Aaliyah. And that's
true,
the problem, right?
True.
On our level, it's a different thing. Do we stop playing R. Kelly? He gets money every time we play R. Kelly. So now we're supporting a person that we don't agree with.
Right.
And so that's a different, on a business level, that's something we got to think about.
Right. But the thing about it is that even with the Aaliyah, I feel like that's what we saw, and that wasn't even crucified. To be honest,
outrage.
Yeah, there was no outrage. That was the cutest. Oh, look how cute! That was
no. He denied it. He was denied.
Right,
but I think
people were more of you're right, for the longest. But I think it was more of a that situation than a like people being disgusted. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe because Aaliyah was in the limelight and she was a singer.
She was never really like a child singer, right?
Even though when she wasn't.
Even though she was incredibly young, she was never portrayed.
She always was a little
That's
older.
What I'm saying. She was portrayed. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. She was an entertainer, right? So in the entertainer world, heck, we grew up watching kids on TV that were 9, but they were really 18, or 12-year-olds that were really. So that's what I'm saying.
But the difference between a Mickey Mouse Club kid becoming famous and getting all that
and someone
cheese,
that came out with with the image that she came out with was not. That's why I say she came out as an image of more of just an entertainer. Right. She was that pop star, whatever the case may be. So if you didn't know anything about Aaliyah, because there's a lot of folks that don't know who the hell is singing the song, they just listen to the song, right? You can be, you don't know this person. Well, no, I just listen to the music. That's not my thing.
Right.
So I'm not researching. I didn't read the lyrics on the inside. I didn't go get $10 and go and run and buy a cassette tape or whatever. Music was not my thing. If it plays and I like to dance to it, it got me on the dance floor, cool. After I heard it so many times, then I'm going to know. If they were not, especially back in the day on MTV or something that was on main set, I had no clue who they were. So, to me, Aaliyah and R. Kelly was just Aaliyah and R. Kelly until it was like, oh no, she's this years old.
Yeah, because she never looked her age.
Because it was never that to me. Yeah. She was just an entertainer.
Right.
She apparently
So
had
then
that type
after-
of mojo because even after her death, Timberland came out and said that he was in love with her too, but he didn't really do anything because she was too young. I was like, what's all
The men love to live.
But see, that's
I mean,
the-
she
but
was
that's the difference.
beautiful,
But that's the difference,
but
right?
still,
so Timbo
she was still
was feeling some kind of way,
understood that I'm too old.
and I'm too old, and then R. Kelly didn't. So that takes us back to that question.
Yeah.
Then. Is it all right, or are we sitting here just trying to figure out ways to get around our feelings of, okay, you did that wrong, but this is still makes me feel good, so I'm still gonna do this or listen to the music or whatever. You're still supporting them.
To me,
so where do you draw the inside yourself? Where do you draw the line?
So my thing is, if I'm gonna take R. Kelly's music off for that, then I'm gonna take Dr. Dre's music off for beating a woman.
right.
Because
And
I
Nas
was
for beating his wife
a
and
victim
Khalees.
of
And who for beating his wife?
Nas, Nasir.
because I was a victim of abuse. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care if it was just one girlfriend and he apologized, because this is the excuses that we get, right? Well, it was back in the day and it was just that one girl, or it was just woo woo, and then he paid the money, or what? Okay, so meanwhile back at the ranch, he was beating on women, right? What if that was you he was beating on?
Yeah.
So what excuse are people giving you that it was okay that he beat on you? So if I got a date, because again, everybody has something that's going on in their personal life that the public isn't going to agree. That's the skeletons in the closet, you know? So if I got to take you off for the skeleton, I mean, it's the same thing that somebody told me about Titty Tuesday. Well, you got to take Titty Tuesday off because that's, you know, that's a sexual thing. And, oh, my goodness.
What is that?
That's
Show
Naked
that's
Intelligence, Nicole
Oh.
and them. But I said, okay, well, that's what your opinion is. But then the next person says I got to take the pastor off because he feels like we're shoving Christianity down his throat and all he wants to do is tune into the one TV. So if I got to take this off, I got to take that off because someone is
I don't
always
know.
going to be against.
I just want people to
something
take
that's
ownership.
programmed.
If you don't want this thing, then you turn it off. Like if you like the one and all the content, but you don't like this one thing, the pastor, then you don't watch during that time. Like, isn't that what we've always done?
That's my thing. Like that's my point. Like so.
Like, I don't like
what
every
you
show
don't
on
like-
ABC.
What you don't like is what needs to be programmed, and I mean, because somebody else might like whatever.
Exactly. People need to
And-
stop that.
And their mindset could be completely different. Because remember,
Yes.
there's a whole bunch of different worlds, right?
Yeah.
And if we talk sexually or whatever, and we talk about all the different lanes that people go in, I'd be like, I'm the biggest prude in the land because I can't even imagine. But there's millions of people.
You're not eating no groceries?
Millions
Now
of
you
people.
know groceries. You're not
Girl,
going to no
nah,
groceries.
there's something-
You're not going to
We are
H-E-B?
not starting that
Okay.
conversation. Okay, sit quietly. We're not starting that conversation.
So
But
saying
know
you
what
going
I
to
mean?
H-E-B?
Like, but there's tons of people that eat groceries.
Yeah.
So it's like, you have to sit up there and say, you're nasty for doing that. Okay, so that means 3.5 million people are nasty.
Right.
And come on, we can't
That's
do
why
that.
I say you got to, I don't, like, people who like what they like, I don't trip about that stuff. I
Yeah,
don't trip. As long as it don't affect me, I'm like, what does it matter?
yeah.
And if it's something, I'm watching the station and something come on I don't want to see, I just turn it off. Like, I'm not going to write an email to the network and be like, "Arr."
So here's another thing too coming with that, because I get the point of not wanting to necessarily put money in the pocket of someone who is currently being a detriment to society. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, I bought these CDs a long
already got
time
my
ago.
money.
It's not like I'm spending
Yeah.
current R. Kelly money,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I love the Cosby Show. Right? And I feel like the Cosby Show is something that made all of us great, or
It did.
gave us little this or something or whatever.
It did.
I feel like kids miss out even being able to watch reruns of the Cosby
Mm-hmm.
Show. That's kind of the same thing, right?
It is.
But that show brought so much good, and we
It
didn't
did.
know what was going on. The public
It let
wasn't
us.
aware.
It let us. A lot of us, you know. I'm just gonna say regular old black folk, and then we see this household. He's a doctor, she's a lawyer. They got this big, beautiful home. The kids are going to, like, different world too. Changed how we looked at going to college and stuff. So those were important shows. They're still important to me. Me and my son got on the Different World on Netflix.
Yeah. I was
And
watching
watched
the
it,
other
and I
day.
wanted him to see us in the positive situations like that, working hard, going to school, joining frats, all the stuff that I wanted him to see. And I'm gonna say it because where I live, it's not a lot of us. And so, not that it's a bad thing, but I wanted him to see that if he wants to, he can go to a historically black college and get all of that and not just think about the stuff that he's been introduced to at the schools he goes to.
Absolutely.
And so I think it still serves a purpose. But like you said, it's a fine line, because I don't agree with the stuff that Bill Cosby did and the reason that he did it, but I don't know.
But do you take away all of that? I mean, are we really going to say that wasn't a positive influence?
And
in
it
our
was
lives?
such a positive influence.
It was.
The dad was in the house. You know, it was people. I knew people who were like, just to see a father present was a big deal.
In the Latino world, that is like highly, every household talks about, because everybody in the black people world talk about Cosby. So I'm just wondering what y'all's.
I mean, excuse me. So it really depends, right? Because in the Latino world, where are you? If you're a U.S. Latino, then we're talking about Cosby.
Yeah, because you like literally broke that down
right?
too. Where it's like it was the same the other day.
We're very similar in that sense. And we're talking about Cosby. We're talking about, you know, R. Kelly. These are all people that influence us as well. If you're just talking about straight, who are the Latino artists here in the United States that are facing these kind of things, I can't tell you. I can't give you one right now.
So when I hear,
like, I can't remember. I'm not saying that there aren't any, but I currently can't remember. Like, if you just think of our most famous Latinos, you know, J-Lo, she's not going through it. She just looks good.
This is so crazy, because I literally had J-Lo in my head.
Right.
Well,
I just saw her picture just a minute ago, because she's 49.
She
her
looks
birthday
so
was
good.
yesterday. Yeah.
I don't know what she has, but she's fine. But
she's
no,
almost
because
50 and looks like that.
I know seeing, you know, shows, regardless of what it is, that where people are saying, well, you know, I'm proud to be a star because in the Latino world we didn't get, you know, so we're hearing the same story, but just parallel, basically, you know.
Right, but I just don't know of any
particular artists
that are creeps right now or anything like that.
No, that's what I'm not saying. Not one that's been in a Cosby situation. I'm saying
I think she meant like
somebody
Cosby
that
was so important to what we saw
to our culture, like period.
Well, here's the thing.
So it's kind of like if J-Lo was important to the culture.
We're way behind you guys in that sense, right? So when it comes to us having our own TV shows, you can count on one hand how many of us have ever starred and had our own TV show. Right. On one hand.
Right.
So when it comes to films, how often do you see us as the lead? If it wasn't J-Lo, how often do you see any Latino as the lead of a film?
So this is the conversation I was looking for.
So, so when it comes to popular culture, we are light years behind you guys.
Gotcha.
Light years behind black people in media.
Yeah.
You know, it's an interesting thing. Chris Rock wrote an op-ed for, I want to say it was the LA Times, might have been the New York Times, where he was talking about minorities in Hollywood, right? And he had this great take, like almost smacking you to try to wake you up about how it truly works, right? And he said, even if you want to, for one moment, put black people aside and the struggle in Hollywood of what black people are going through, look at an industry that is smack dab in the middle of a population. And when you talk about exclusion, it is no more prevalent than it is in Hollywood. Because he said, you walk into any studio and you are at any given point surrounded by millions and millions of Latinos. And when you walk into the studio, he said, I'm not even just talking about sweeping the floor or maintenance or lawn care or whatever, but you walk in the door of any studio and you don't even see Latino sound guys. Right. You don't even see a Latino cameraman. You don't even see Latino, you know, just the guys that do Foley or a guy that's doing graphics or you don't even see that. Right. Now, how come, I'm not saying that, he was saying in the article, he's not saying that Latinos can't have to star in all the movies and stuff like that. But even if you take them, I mean, not to say there aren't a million Latino actors, but even just to say, okay, let's say we're not going to have them star in the next blockbuster. But how come they can't be the guy that's running sound? How come they can't be the guys holding the microphones? How come they can't be the makeup guys? How come they can't? All these other you ever watch a movie and see all those names at the end and the credits? Like it's 15 minutes of names.
Now let me
how
tell
come
you,
so little of them might even be Latino?
And that's kind of
and they're all right here. We're surrounded by a million of them, and we can't let none of these guys get a job. That's not sweeping or mopping or taking out the trash.
Look, parallel conversation, different jobs. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why do black people always got to be the
conversation?
Yeah,
right.
And that's what it is.
But we are light years behind
as far as taking that. So if you took, and
I tell you,
I don't want to
almost
say
none are in those positions,
because literally I have to go to a J-Lo, like you had said. I have to go to a J-Lo or Miss that you interviewed, that sexy little something. Oh, I love her so much.
Specific. You got to be more specific, girl.
Cute.
I've interviewed a lot of cute girls.
What is the baby on Modern Family? The mama.
Oh, Sofia Vergara.
Yes, I love her. Yeah. Like someone like that, because I feel like she's played a lot of movies and roles and stuff as well.
Yeah,
but like
TV.
Right.
But and she's done movies. A couple of movies.
So
she's done a couple of movies, but always only ever really played the bombshell, the sexy Latina bombshell.
Only got those roles. And that's why I say I hate to say those names, because they're seen more as beauties and not, But if you took someone that has gone past what nobody else has done, made a mark, as Halle Berry, I'm the first black person to win the thing, and so now I've opened the doors for the rest of you to come on. Like, and then scandal pops upon them, and then they want to literally erase everything that opened the door for the entire culture, and that's what I see with Cosby. That's why I'm like, we can't do that, You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't. Oh Lord, have mercy. I'm like, we can't do that. We can't erase everything that actually changed people's stuff.
Right. Now, I get that. But in saying that, what is it's a fine line, right? Because there's so precious little of this motivational, inspiring kind of work that people can look towards and say, yes, there is a better way, and there's so few of us that have transcended a specific ceiling, a level that everyone can look and aspire to also transcend one day, right? So there's so precious few, and then when some of them begin to fall or topple, then we try on some level, like try to work hard to leave the legacy at least, even if the person can't be there.
Back, we still got to keep.
We still want to keep the legacy.
That's exactly right. Oh, that's exactly right. Like, take out the person.
If we can only take the person out. The issue is that when you support the legacy, you're supporting the person.
There's no,
and it's so hard to separate the two.
So it's kind of like Barack Obama. Like, we had to continue to tell folks there was no scandal. 8 years of nothing. What did the boy do? Even the dog did good. You know, everybody did so well. And Michelle even said the pressure of the non-scandal. Like, I don't care if it's a hot check. I don't care if anything. Like, the girl got really cute for her shoulders. So you have to think of how hard it was not to be the first freaking black family in the White House and there be scandal. And not just now, but even 10, 15, 20 years from now, when people are digging up to still try to put, draw shade on what happened during that time. So that's the thing that hurts me the most, I guess, because at some point, like, we can't just let go of all of that, because it does tear apart what stuff that built us up. I feel like it takes away from us.
It's hard, and unfortunately, I mean, not that you never wish this, but unfortunately, I don't think that there'll be any real kind of I don't think there'll be less of a stigma until these people pass, right? And then other people, other generations who aren't so close to the like, oh, I remember Aaliyah, or I remember, you know, these kids, or I remember the P tape, or I remember whatever. Where those people like are less connected to the circumstances, and then just start to maybe appreciate the music for the music,
just for what it was. Right?
Just
like this was a good song. R. Kelly, who? I didn't know that was him.
Oh yeah, who's R. Kelly?
Like, you mean the Step in the Name of Love guy? Yeah.
Like today, if we listen to anything, you know, from the 50s or whatever, a lot of people that love 50s music will listen to Jerry Lee Lewis and, you know, Great Balls of Fire.
Oh, and he was a pedophile too.
He married his 13-year-old cousin.
His 13-year-old cousin. But,
that was.
But people are so disconnected from that time. That you know, you play it on the radio and all people are hearing.
The only reason why I know that is because they had made a movie
about it.
And there was
it was a great movie.
And I would have never known otherwise.
So other than that, exactly, you would have never known.
I just would have known the song.
I don't think it'll be until after these people pass away that others will then be able to appreciate it with less of an emotional connection.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately.
Okay, so just moving on to the next fabulous thing that we haven't been able to talk about, but I've been seeing, there's a lot of challenges happening. None that I think we would necessarily do. Maybe.
Okay, what?
Have you
Social
done
media challenges?
in the feelings.
Have you done the in the feelings challenge or the what's the one where they pull your feet?
Oh, the Zoom challenge.
The Zoom challenge.
No, that looks dangerous.
Look, they both are dangerous.
Well, okay, the only one people need to know how you're doing the in your feelings challenge. You're not really just ghosting your car. Somebody's in the passenger seat holding the wheel and filming you. So don't be an idiot thinking you just gonna get out the car.
There's some people that are ghost riding.
No. That's what I'm saying. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Here's the thing.
The really good ones are somebody holding the wheel and filming it.
So here's the thing though. There's like so many things by it. Like people are really getting hit by cars. People are doing it on busy streets. People are doing it in like. You want to ghost your car? Find a parking lot somewhere, right, and do it in a park.
Well,
do it in your backyard and run over your stuff. But people are doing this. So there was the feds are like, look, stop. Y'all are doing this on highways and byways. You are doing it in front of folks. You're getting lives in danger. People have gotten hit. Now, I've seen a few videos where I'm going to say that I was like, please tell me that this was a made-up video, right? But then when I saw the reaction of the people behind it and everybody started running towards the person, I was like, that's not made up.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Somebody actually got hit and different stuff.
I saw 2 different videos where people literally ran smooth over, like their whole body. One white dude and one white girl
fell under the car like they were doing the challenge.
On top of the car. The car bammed them. This is them. This the car. The car bammed them. They rolled over. And yes.
Were they the ones doing the challenge, or they were
the ones outside doing?
You're not supposed to be on the front of the car.
They was on the side of the road side. Like I think that it's the passengers. It seemed like it was the passenger. It might not have been, but it almost seemed like it was the passenger that was out on the side where the cars is coming.
That's stupid. But people need to not. I mean. Like, I don't know if you remember years ago, I can't remember the name of the movie, it was a football movie out, and as part of like a bonding thing, they went and laid on the middle of the street where the lines are. Did you remember that movie? And like they laid flat and head to toe on the line as like to prove, I guess, their dedication to each other, and traffic was whizzing by as they were laid in the middle of the street like that. People actually did that and died.
Okay, that was false.
People died doing that because people really did it. So you just gotta know, like, that's not okay. Don't.
Right.
But is this the one you saw?
Jeopardize.
Well, I saw 2 of them, but that one, I think that was the one that I was like, that's got to be fake, because look at the car.
Oh, yeah, that's fake.
That's fake.
That's
fake. Yeah, that looks
fake. Is that the one that you?
That was one of the ones I saw. That was one of them.
And I hate that people make videos like that. I'm like, why do you make videos like that?
So my
actually, no, maybe we should show people. Know.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
But there was one with the white guy too. See if that one.
So this one right here is fake. So next time you.
It looks
fake.
But
what is not fake is the feds actually saying they are condemning this Drake challenge. They're saying that people are getting seriously hurt. They are getting hit. Cars are swerving and hitting things. And you need to absolutely stop.
I thought
doing
usually
it.
these challenges don't have much shelf life. Like, I feel like it's already old. Are people still doing it?
I didn't, girl. I missed it because it was grand open. I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Oh,
Even
yeah.
the Zoom challenge. So what
Yeah,
I
I've been
had
seeing that
seen-
stuff for weeks.
So what I had, she said weeks. The girl's been hours. You know, we have a microwave.
Because people
society.
started the Zoom challenge with their kids.
Right.
And so now adults are doing it. But I'm like, why are you pulling your baby
So
like
wait,
that?
First of all, here's the whole thing. I had never seen the Zoom challenge. So the first Zoom challenge I saw was a big dude, right?
That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous. It was
Some
a
of these
real,
things are
real big dude. And they Zoomed him, but of course they couldn't Zoom him. He knocked himself over the head. He proceeded to roll on the floor and try to fight the dude because he Zoomed him wrong. And now everybody's going to think he's fat. This is what he said. It was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. But I didn't see the challenge the way it was supposed to look. When I finally saw the way it was supposed to look, it literally was the most hilarious thing I'd ever seen. Yeah.
So, are you really just
She
answering?
just
You just
answered
answering the phone?
and-
You on the
and-
radio?
Right.
Excuse yourself.
Son,
man.
I don't know where to go. It's my son. Say it again, baby.
Say it again, baby.
Say it again, baby.
Say it again, baby. Okay.
You know when kids call, they start getting worried.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So.
I'm going to check on you a little bit. Call Graham and tell her.
Call Graham.
Okay,
Gotta
I
call
love
Graham.
Bye.
We love you.
I'm sorry. Nobody else but that one called. I don't care what's going on. We could be running from a fire, be like, my son is calling. Running and holding the phone.
I think the last challenge I did was like the ice bucket one years ago.
That was the
Yeah.
last
I think that was the
challenge.
last one I.
I
and then
did
after
that,
it was just
and
like,
you
next.
people donate,
I'm
and
good.
we donated. So that was fine. But I'm like, nobody's getting hurt. It's just water and ice. But these other stupid challenges that put you in harm's way, like remember, I don't know if you know, but kids were doing condoms. Do you remember
Yes,
that? Up one
yes.
nostril, out the other.
Yes.
Like you're gonna kill your food cell.
They was
I mean, it's getting worse and worse.
Tide
Tide
Pods.
Pods, like the Tide Pods,
Why?
was like this
Why?
is literally, hey,
Why?
take some poison. That's the challenge.
Why?
Why take some
That's
poison? I
dumb.
don't want to
Why
do
did
that.
they do that?
I wanna
It's
do
stupid.
that.
It's stupid.
Anyway, so the Zoom thing.
I don't
I don't
know
even
where
wanna
they
show
came
that
from,
in
but
the
I
show.
always saw little kids first, and I was like, why are they pulling these babies like that? And then when they flop back, I'm like, that's gotta hurt their neck.
Man, let me tell you, the neck, the people, they're
bump 'em
they're
on the
banging
head.
them on the head. It's just not
It's stupid.
good.
Yeah, no,
like
just
it's
not
really not. And I think when they, most people were doing it with the kids on the bed or something like that. But
Yeah. Now, okay,
it's just,
but still, that motion is whip. That's how you get whiplash.
yeah,
So
yeah,
nah, I'm over it.
yeah.
I mean, and how is that a challenge though? I think it's
it's
silly.
not a
It's
challenge.
stupid.
It's just doing something for it to go viral, basically.
But it's not.
I did
it's
the
not
for the
even
D
good.
challenge because I
Like,
thought it was funny, and that's not really hurting anybody. It was just making a song talking about what you would do for the D. So I did that just because.
What would you do for the D?
I can't remember.
Sing us a song.
But it was,
Sing us the
but
song.
it was about being clever. So
Okay.
I said something about I can't remember, but I said cute
You want
little
me to
things.
beatbox for
But
you?
I said
While
that
you-
I would lose my hearing and I'd sign for the D, and I spelled out D when
yeah,
I
don't
did it.
sign.
Sign
Calm
for
down,
the
man.
D.
Lose my hearing and
children
I
watching.
sign for the D.
Children watching. We don't. I wish I could blur it. Sorry, guys. It's live.
Ah.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. All right, what else has been going on? Just real fast. Not that I ever want to bring up Trump, but has there been any more fun Trump Putin memes out there?
Just
'Cause
a
people
whole
are
bunch
getting
with him
blocked
sitting
these
on
days.
Putin's lap or being his girlfriend and stuff like that.
Just crazy
I
news.
started
being,
ignoring him.
being like a ventriloquist dummy.
Yes. That
thing.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's so bad. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know.
There's a lot going on
There's
there.
a
Now
lot.
something about Trump and some money. It was cash. I don't know. He denied it. Now they found a tape of him saying it. I
Okay.
didn't pay attention.
Okay. Right.
Like
Right.
at this point, it's just like,
I was
hey,
like, what
Trump.
happened?
Trump eats baby lips. Yeah, that sounds about right. Like I'm not surprised anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on that because every time my phone beams, it'll say, whatever Trump, and I'm
Some
just
scary thing.
Yeah.
Some scary thing.
Just like
did.
this is who
Yeah.
I say we because of the country, but I did not. But this is who we voted into the highest office in the world. We always call this person ruler or the leader of the free world.
Yeah.
And we put this dude in. What a joke.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's crazy.
The rest of the world thinks we're the stupidest. You know that, right? They think we're dumb.
The tape, the recording, the audio recording was actually from his former lawyer who recorded a conversation. And in that the one that came out yesterday, there's 12 different tapes.
Because they raided his
And
office, so they
go.
found it. Okay.
Right. And they let one go because apparently Donald Trump or somebody in his camp had waived the attorney-client privilege. It's like, yeah, we don't care. And it was like, okay, well, guess what? Your man was recording you. And so one of those was released yesterday, and it was given to CNN, actually, and they played it last night, and I listened to it. And in that one conversation, I don't know, the whole thing might have been maybe 4 minutes, 5 minutes, like the length of a song. Anyway, it goes from Donald Trump comes into the office, or he goes into Donald Trump's office, whichever one. In the conversation they have a little bit of conversation, and then they start talking about paying off the Playboy Playmate. And according to him, he didn't do that. He had no relationship. He had nothing.
Right.
So the thing is that he was like, well, I have to set up a shell company. I have to set up a company in order for us to pay our friend Dave. It sounded really mobsterish the way they were talking, right?
Right.
And he was like, yeah, so we have to set up the financing of that. Basically telling him, hey, we got to pay this off. We got to set up the financing of that. And dude said, what do you mean financing? And he was like, well, we have to, set up this company. But he was like, wait, not cash? Like basically like that. Now, there was a little, it's not garbled, but they were kind of talking over each other. So it was difficult to hear, and it hadn't been sweetened or anything like that. So they haven't really enhanced the audio or whatever. But the current debate is that on his side, he's saying, no, I wasn't saying, Trump wasn't saying cash, or he wasn't inquiring whether cash or check. He was saying something else, not cash. But the point of it is that when you listen to it, I listen to it and try to listen to it with as open a mind as possible. But it's obvious, dude was like, well, we ain't going to just pay him cash.
Definitely saying cash.
We ain't just going to pay him cash. No, he said the word cash, but what did he say before and after cash?
Right.
And then it ends with check, like that. The point of it was that dude was setting up this company so he can pay the money from the company. Dude is like, well, what do you mean? Okay, fine, if we're going to do that, and we're just going to give him the cash because that's what... Isn't that what we always do, or what anybody always does when they're trying to keep something off the books? Is just give somebody a bunch of cash, right?
Right.
But they're saying no, he didn't say that. The same would. I don't know why it wouldn't be. I don't know why it would be. But that's what's happening with that audio tape. So right now, everybody's just kind of listening and debating.
Wow.
Really, you just got to send it to some kind of forensic audio person to kind of pull out all the sound. And make sure that everybody hears everywhere. All the background noise goes away. This is all the stuff. But in the end, even if you just forget that part of it, your boy was taping you.
Right.
There's a reason for that.
Right.
He's trying to keep himself as clean as possible because he's walking into a meeting with you knowing you're going to ask him to do something shady.
Right.
So even if your attorney is recording your conversation, that's a whole different problem you got, bro.
Yeah.
And we got 12 of these?
12.
I don't know.
I would say that happens probably a lot, that attorneys do that, not just to cover themselves, but just to make sure they got all their ducks in a row or whatever, but without thinking they'll ever release it to somebody or need to release it to somebody.
You feel that you have to take your phone, record,
anytime you
and then hide that joint, like okay, so what are you saying? What?
Yeah. Anytime you have to do that, then obviously there's something wrong. Because I've never just been like, close calling, let me record it.
Well, no, but I mean,
for customer service purposes.
Just in case she talk about the D challenge, I ain't got time to.
No.
I
I'm
didn't
thinking
do that.
about people like attorneys, and it's not uncommon for therapists and different people to record stuff because it's a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right,
and
but
so
it's
they
also,
want to go back
it's not covert. That's the problem,
It's
right?
not covert.
It's not covert. So if I'm sitting here, my attorney, I'm just going to record this conversation because we're going to talk about a lot of things.
So that's so we know it was covert.
Huh?
We know this was covert.
Yeah, you think this man going to talk about that with a tape recorder on the desk, like?
Choo. I don't know. Who knows?
You hear him turn it on. You hear him put it away. You hear like a pen and stuff. He's not gonna. He's not gonna agree to be recorded to do anything.
The stuff we know he's done, nobody's holding him
also
accountable for.
Also, they're also not saying that he agreed to the recording. That's the other thing.
Right.
So they would say, "Oh no, we knew we were being recorded. What? There was nothing. Everything was on the up and up. What is the problem?" Just to try to get rid of that whole thing being anything anyway.
Right.
They didn't do that. What they did was say he didn't say that.
Right.
He said this.
They went straight to defensive mode.
Right.
So if everybody knew, then what's the problem? So anyway, so that's what's going on with the audio tape.
But like what you said, we ain't prosecuting people for what we know they did.
Yeah. So I mean,
so to try to prove something that we're not sure to somebody, but actually we are sure.
Trump can do anything.
You remember the day when they was like, if only I could have had this recorded or videotaped, we would have had you. No, you wouldn't have.
No, you wouldn't.
Not in America 2008.
Not today. I was reading this fascinating article yesterday about how people are constantly trying to compare him to Richard Nixon, right? Because Nixon got impeached and he also had a war with the media and he had a war with this. And it was just amazing to see how you can't compare him, according to this article, and I have to agree, you can't compare him because they're not living in the same world.
No.
It's a different world.
Yeah.
Back in those days, in 72, 3, there were 3 major networks for media of news. The nightly news on each one of them.
Right.
There were 2 or 3 radio stations in any given market. There were like media was, and
scarce.
nobody listened to their own bubbles. Everybody got the same news and then formed their own opinion. Right. That's why journalism couldn't be yellow. It had to be like right down the middle, right down the line. You decide, because you don't want to alienate anybody. You want people to keep watching your station and make money, right? So there was no Fox News point of view. There was no MSNBC point of view. There was just straight down the middle. That's it. And so, but he still had a war with them. But, Walter Cronkite was still like America's dad putting you to bed at night. Like, no, hold on. This is what's happening and this is the news. People trusted. And today, there are thousands of radio stations. In every market, there might be 1,000. I mean, as many dials as there are, plus take it to online, plus take it to podcasts, plus take it everywhere. Oh my gosh, there are so many places to get your news, and you never have to leave a bubble. Right? At least before, there was. They did say that there was one conservative publication back in those days. There was one. And all conservatives would go and read that
particular one.
But there was only one. The rest of it was down the middle, down the line. Now, oh my gosh, between every pundit having their own show and their own thing. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because now it's so divided. Who do you go to for that middle of the road? I don't know.
Like, just the information. Just the information.
Man,
just give me the information.
Do you know that just to be prepared for this show, I'm watching every single news outlet.
Yeah.
10, 15, from this break to this break. Okay, now it's a commercial. Let me switch to the other one.
Yeah.
And I'm watching. See different points of views.
And what story is common on all of them.
Right.
You're like, because there's certain ones that are only going to cover certain stuff, and there's certain ones that cover everything.
Right.
So a lot of times, I do the same thing, and I'll be like, all right, 4 people done talked about this, or I done seen this on 10 sites. This is
the news of the day.
This is the news of the day, right? And then we go from there.
The rest of it is somebody's opinion. No matter how many different newspapers online, anyway, I don't get them delivered to the crib. You know how many newspaper articles I'm reading every day, like trying to get the middle of the road kind of, okay, this is this extreme, this is this extreme. That's how you can talk to somebody like Paul and understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
But then be able to present
something else,
and that's how I'm able to see that 2 things can be true, because I see your point of view. I see your point of view because you ain't the first person, not just Paul, but I see your point of view to whoever I'm reading, because you're not the first person to make this point, right?
Yeah.
So then on the other side, same thing, whether it's conservative or the liberal point of view, you're not the first person to make this point. That's why you can kind of tell which are the talking points of the day and which everybody just keeps repeating the same thing and not having their own ideas of what is happening, because it's like, okay, you're the 18th person from 6 a.m. to now who said the same exact line the same way. That must be the talking point of the day.
Yeah, that was the
that must have been
headline.
the email that everybody got last night. When you get on CNN tomorrow, this is what you're going to say, which they do. So it's hard to find that middle of the road, that singular kind of place where you can get what's happening. Singular kind of place where you can get all the information that you need without being biased from one side to the other. If somebody could just come on and say, Donald Trump has just released a tweet today that says that such and such and such and such and such and such. And now we go to this. Okay, let me make, because I don't need you to tell me if something's right or wrong, right?
Yeah.
Just based on my own experience, I'm listening to you. And if you said this today and this yesterday, then I can form my own opinion on what the hell is wrong with you.
Right.
I don't need 18 people to tell me that something's wrong with this dude. I know that something's wrong with this dude because yesterday he said this and today he said this. But it's like news, that's all it's flooded with, is opinion.
Right.
When do we get to the news?
When do we get to the actual
When do we get?
of
You
it
know
all?
who's good at that? In the mornings, and it's not just a big, it's not, but this is I found a way to cut through the noise a little bit. HLN. I don't know if you've ever watched HLN. HLN, Headline News.
Oh,
It's
okay.
called Headline News. It's in 1,000 airports and a million places. But basically, they talk news, right? So they'll tell you what happened, but there's not a bunch of pundits talking it out for the next half hour of what happened and who it is. This is the news. So you go to CNN, which is supposed to be the middle of the road. They actually own HLN. That's their way of giving news so that CNN can just be about debates. Right? So, okay, thank you. So then I'm switching the channel. I don't want to watch CNN no more because the same 18 people talking about the same one thing for the next 24 hours.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to know if I'm not watching this news station that's giving me actual news. Hey, today is going to be 1,000 degrees across the country. I wouldn't know that if I just watched any of these pundits talking about Donald Trump all day. How would I know about people getting hurt on these challenges, or how would I know about the little national whatever day, or tell me something else that's happening. There's fires. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God,
There's
the
so
fires.
many fires that
Oh my God,
almost
the
the
fires.
entire West Coast through Texas
Yes.
is on fire.
Yes.
Why are we
yes.
talking about Donald
No,
Trump when half the
but
country's
here-
on fire?
But, like, on the cool though.
Every year?
But it does happen
But it
every
doesn't
year.
have. But half the country?
No. There's more fires.
There are
There's
wildfires.
more fires than the Florida fires, right?
The
California fires.
California.
sorry. Because the California fires happen every year.
Right.
And they happen where the rich part people are. And every year I say, rich people move because you got the money to, and there's no reason.
They gonna rebuild.
Yeah, like every year. But no, there are fires, like literally, like lots of stuff is on fire right now. And the weather is ridiculous. We already know 100 and freaking 10, 11 degrees, like that's on the map. Like
Right.
what is going on?
Right.
On the other side of the world, floods.
They're flooding.
They're flooding.
Yes,
Right.
It's raining. Like, and that's not even the other side of the world. It's like just on the other side of America,
The
right?
coast is flooding.
So like,
Greece is on fire. Right
Greece is on fire.
Those,
That's
and
what
those
I
people
remember.
can't afford.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
imagine if you wanted to go and visit Greece, like on some tourist kind of stuff. All of that is on fire right now.
Yeah, all of it.
My homegirl just got back from
Yeah.
Greece.
40
Yeah.
kilometers. 40
That's, I couldn't remember where it was.
or something
But
like
Greece, no, Greece is on fire.
Yeah, Greece is on
and
fire.
the magma,
It's the Greece fire.
the magma under the
Wah,
ground.
wah, wah. Yeah.
That was funny. Under the ground, and it's all hot. I'm trying to tell you, man, it's
I show you right now?
ridiculous right now.
Just in the U.S., look at this. Oh, let me show you big. Look at this, guys. When I say half the country, each one of these is a different fire. When I say
Yes.
half the country is on fire,
Yeah.
half the country. But all we could talk about is what's happening in this little tiny thing right there. But look at how much of the country
Yeah.
is like currently on fire.
On fire.
And all we could talk about is who
But see,
he paid off
that's
and
what
what he did and
but
how
that's
much
what
money.
they want us to talk about, because see, when the people find out, this is what I believe. Okay, if we turn off all that noise, right, people will actually have humanity, right? And then they'll care, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, we want to help, or we want to come together, or we want to work together.
Right.
it's all this outside noise that continues to separate us continuously. And like literally when you do watch all of those news outlets, you realize that what needs to be being broadcast the most is love, 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 work together, come together, love. You get sick of hearing it, but if you don't, man, we gonna be
So what do we do? Because love, unless it's porn, don't make money. Right? Only scandal, only negativity. If it bleeds, it leads. That's been,
Let me pick up my Zay.
Yes.
Speak, Zay. What do we do?
So what do we do?
Yeah,
that's the question, right? So that's the law. I mean, if it bleeds, it leads has been something that far beyond any of our lifetimes, right? That's what journalism has been saying since, probably the dawn of journalism, right? Because they realize that unless it's scandalous, nobody's going to pay attention.
Right.
Love, unless it's porn, isn't scandalous and it's not going to pay the bills. So how do we make that happen? How do we change the narrative? How do we help the country push forward and ignore the ridiculous? Like, this man, it's not even about him. But when the man can go, he was talking to the VFW yesterday, right? The VFW's national convention was in Colorado, I want to say. Just people, right? He turned it into campaign rally. This man said the words. Don't pay attention to what you see or what you hear. That's not true. What you see and what you hear are not true. Don't pay attention to that, right?
It's like what the white man's been
And
doing for years.
then he started pointing at all the news outlets, all the cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
What these people say, don't pay attention to what they say or what they show you. Are you kidding right now? Like, that's the current narrative?
You can't do that.
It's not forgetting that it's Donald Trump.
Right.
The president of the United States is telling you don't believe what you see or what you hear. What?
Yeah, you can't do that.
So if you turn that off, then what happens?
Right.
No, all you can do is believe what you see and what you hear. So that's like the next level of pacifism, right? Like, you're like, don't worry, I got it. You don't got to pay attention to that.
Yeah, I got all this.
I got all this. Why don't you go ahead and just, but we're still not, tugging at the heartstrings that should be tugged at because half the country's on fire.
No business owner in the world or people will let you do that. No family in the world will let somebody, as Glow's on here, probably texting Boogie, let somebody tell her, don't worry about the house and Boogie. No, I got that. You don't ever have to call. You don't have to answer the phone. Look at her.
Right
She's looking at me crazy right now.
Right.
But that's kind of the same thing. And a lot of times when I hear about country stuff, I'll be thinking about it. Okay, well, let's put that in my own home. Am I going to allow that in my own home? Or is it okay that way? Because if it isn't okay that way, how is it okay? I can't. I can't.
We can't do that. So that's, I mean, not to Trump bash, because I ain't trying to Trump bash. I really don't want to. But if you continue to say the things that you're saying, it's hard not to sound like you're Trump bashing, because you yourself are feeding that machine of talking against you.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, why are you pick a position, pick a lane and drive it
and do it.
Pick a lane and do it. Don't be all over the road, because number one, you're wishy-washy. Number two, it's hard to stay on your side, and the only people that are going to stick with you are the people that you're never going to change their minds, no matter how much you talk to them. Perfect example. I forgot if I read it or if I saw it, but somebody said that the only time that the minds of the base, the Trump supporter base, the only point at which their mind may change is when it's them getting the boot in the butt.
Oh, absolutely.
When they get the boot in the ass,
that's
and
why
their home is getting taken, and their businesses are getting shut down.
Then they're gonna be mad.
Then they're gonna be mad, and maybe it might be like, well, this can't be Trump's fault.
This the thing.
Can it?
No, but this is the thing that's happening.
Can't
that's
be the
why
trade war,
half the people that voted for him don't like him, because they're
already getting the boot in the ass.
Right. So, and excuse my language, I mean this in the utmost respect, but the white folks that are either poor, gay, in the wrong place in life, or doing something that can identify with what he's already trying to shut out, when they realize that that overrode their whiteness, and they got shut out. They was like,
your gayness,
hold
your whiteness.
Right.
Right. Your poorness, your poorness
overrode your whiteness.
Right.
Because that happens.
Right.
Hello, you didn't realize it. That's when the numbers started dropping. Like what happened?
Wait,
I thought we was only doing this to the Hispanic people.
Yeah, I thought we was just doing it to them. What happened to us?
I'm born in America. Make me a great again.
Make me a great again.
I want to be a great again.
Make me a great again.
So that's when, because I mean there was a lot of, I was like, yeah, you didn't realize that because you was poor. Yeah. He like poor people worse than he hate. I'm sorry, he hate poor people worse than
maybe
the colors sometimes.
I'm just saying that it shouldn't be blind, people. It shouldn't be a blind kind of faith. And see if you can. It's going to be difficult. It'll be really, really hard. But if you care, see if you can pull yourself out of a bubble, right? See if you can ride the center. See if you can get out of the hysteria. Because right now, I don't know if you guys saw the clip from The View where Judge Jeanine Pirro.
I'm about to say, and Whoopi.
Did you watch that? And Whoopi Goldberg
they got into it.
Yeah, and apparently
Whoopi don't.
It continued on even after the show. The cameras were done, and they were still like she was throwing the microphones at people.
So you gotta let me tell Whoopi's side of the story, right? Because you know I had heard her side, and then Whoopi came out, and Whoopi was like, "So you gonna tell a story? I'm gonna need you to tell both sides, right? You said this." Then I said this. This is after whatever. She was like, and backstage, I did drop the F-bombs because she had said that she had cussed. Whoopi had cussed her out or whatever, said the F. Yeah, I dropped those F-bombs, boom, boom, boom. But you know Whoopi telling the story. She's like, and.
Yeah. Right.
It was so funny because that's one thing that I love about Whoopi. Right, wrong, or indifferent, she admits what Whoopi does.
That's what I'm saying.
She's accountable for Whoopi.
They don't want to say that.
She's not afraid. She's not afraid of herself, and she's not afraid of consequences.
No. So she's like,
straight up. That's why I love that.
I cussed her out, and the F-bomb dropped, but it came after she said this, and this happened, and this happened, and this is how I felt, and this is what was said. And
like, I had to talk about that. I was like, yeah, somebody's really mad at me because I said some very nasty things to them, but they don't tell the part of why I said those nasty things to them.
Well, right.
Like, you had been bothering me for some time, and then finally I just got fed up, and you got cussed out. Well, but people never want to tell the whole story.
And I think that's it, and that's something that when I always say when we talk to the kids and we tell them, oh, you can do this, or you can be anything, or you can wear whatever you want. Please tell them, yes, but there's consequences, and there's times and places for everything. Yeah. Because we're forgetting that part of it. Yes. So then the people and the kids and even grown folks who's walking around here thinking that they have the right to do whatever they want when they want to do it in. Nah, boo. Yeah. We all share this world, right? And we share space in this world.
Somebody was telling me there's truth, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, here's how I'm reacting to that. Like, they were like, well, you can't do that. I'm like, of course I can.
Of course I can.
But
that's
so
your
you were just
world.
supposed to say what you said, and then there was no consequence, but there's always consequences.
Always.
So yeah, you were honest, but if that honesty mean I don't want to talk to you no more, then
that's what it means. And I think we forget that part of it. Like I said, you can do whatever the heck you want to, but you ain't gonna do whatever the heck you want to over here in my space.
Sure.
Bottom line of that. Okay, check it out. There are some things that are going on in the world. I just, wanted to hit some of those because people have been talking about them all the time. But Serena, my girl, said that she's getting discriminated against.
They drug testing her like crazy.
And since we was talking about white, black, and that man.
So was it because, and I don't have any skin in that game, right? So my question is, because I don't know tennis, and Serena, I appreciate your athletic ability. I think you're amazing. I think your sister's amazing. I think you guys are great, but I don't watch tennis, so I can't say that I'm a tennis fan, right? So the question that I would ask is, because I also don't want to be those people that jump to racism right away, right? You want to take a look at, well, are you just that awesome that 9 months ago you had a kid and today you're competing for the championship of the
finals,
world?
right.
Like you are competing for the championship of everything right now. And 9 months ago you just had a kid and almost died. So how does that, are you just naturally that amazing, or should you be tested like, yo, let's make sure that this lady is on the up and up, because just 9 months ago, none of these people been able to do that, and this woman can. So that's my question, right? Is it that, or
she's been tested 5 times
over the past
in 2018?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like usually when there's random
like
drug
right when
testing,
she just came back,
you know,
basically.
Yeah, where there's random drug testing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like random.
Yeah.
You're not the same. So if I have 10 drug tests in a year, right, and I'm going to randomly pick somebody out of a group of 780 something people, because there's over,
700.
and I mean there's even more than 700, because when she came back and when she was ranked, remember?
Oh,
like
600 plus.
600 something, 95. So, you know, there's probably 1,500, 2,500 people that are signed up for the pro circuit, right?
Okay.
So you got all these people signed up for the pro circuit, and you trying to tell me that every time that you've tested, every last time, the last 5 times that you have said, okay, we gonna randomly test somebody or test 10 people,
I mean,
I'm in it every time?
Yes,
out of 2,500 people?
I agree with Zay that it's probably because she's like, who does that? Who comes
who's
back
that
and makes-
awesome?
Serena?
Well, she is.
And
now we know.
Cool.
Yeah,
so now we know.
I never would, because she hasn't had this problem, at least has said about anything about it her whole career. So I don't think it's race driven or anything like that. She hasn't said anything about it prior.
Well,
has she?
and she hasn't, and I think maybe because she's fed up with it now. Maybe because
So
it's
maybe
so
it has been
excessive
happening.
right now, you know?
I don't know.
And the joke was, okay, it's that time of the year. So to me, if you say that it's that time of the year, that means this happens multiple years. You were only pregnant this year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To me, that's what that says. That means that we did for many years, every time this time of the year comes up, here comes the random drug test where I'm the only one getting tested.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go searching for reasons to be indignant about race. If, but we don't know, no.
You
right?
don't know for sure.
So we don't know for sure until she says, hey, I get random drug tested 8 times a year. Then, okay, we can say that
But that's
there
what
might be
that's
every
what she
year.
said.
No, you said this year.
Oh, well,
She's been random
that's
drug tested 5 times
her
this
statement,
year.
Yeah, I think that was the reporter that just, like the story writer. So she had said it's this time of the year that I've been get drug tested, and I always get drug tested. I think they trying to say something, but I'm happy to keep the sport clean. That was hers. Then whoever wrote the article said she's been drug tested 5
so
times
this does
already
happen all
this
the
year.
time.
That was the person who wrote the article.
That's whack.
Yeah. So my
but
thing
is she the only one getting drug tested 5 times a
probably
year?
not. I don't know. No,
Maybe
she's
the
been
top
drug tested. So
people get
she
to-
also said that she didn't know that she had gotten drug tested more than anybody else in the league. So after I
She's
guess
also
the
the most dominant
excessiveness,
person.
yeah, but at some
I mean,
point,
23
yeah.
grand slams,
I
like
know, right?
it's-
So you get this, you know, you get back and you're like, man, I'm sick of this. And then somebody who like works at the clinic, like, because
Girl.
they know, like,
Yeah.
that girl, you know, you the
know.
one, you hear more than anybody, like 3, you know. So that's what, you know, I think it comes from. But I also don't want to turn a blind eye to stuff like that, because I do, like, I'm not gonna rule that out, especially when you're the only black person that's doing something, or you're, you know, 2 of 10 black people, and then next thing you know, all the black people get fired. Well, it might not be about race, but how do all the black people get fired? How do just the black people get drug tested? Because I've seen that before, where there's a whole warehouse, all these people, and the 4 black people in the warehouse got drug tested randomly. Like, how do the 4 black names get picked randomly?
Yeah.
To me, that is not by accident. I can't believe that, because the odds are too not.
Yeah. I feel you.
I just can't. I don't know. So I don't ever want to jump to the race card, because I hate that card. But at the same time, it never leaves the back of my head.
Well, you also want to be selective and jump on things when and there's no shortage of
battles.
things there's no shortage of things to fight for. But certainly let's not fight the ones that are out on a limb, because there's so many absolute ones that we can fight for.
Absolutely.
And then when you start to dilute the amount of fighting by adding ones that are on a limb, then it just kind of dilutes it all, right?
Yeah.
So only fight the battles that you absolutely 100% know all the information to, because you don't
So
want
you
to,
have the proper tools to fight.
Well, it also it makes it weaker, right? Oh, you always fighting about something, and half the stuff is wrong. Well, if half the stuff is wrong, then I'm gonna stop fighting for the ones that I don't have all the information to, and look at 100% of the ones that are correct.
That I've got. The ones that are on video. And tape.
Oh my gosh! Exactly.
How about we keep those going?
Exactly.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, let's see other sports news, just because I have some. Dwayne Wade apparently got offered $25 million to play in China for 3 years because he's a free agent right now. He'd be silly not. I don't even know Dwayne. They still made him.
They still made Dwayne Wade?
Yeah. When was the last time? He just stopped playing, huh?
Well, no. See, the thing is, he got less. He certainly got less famous or less looked for, I guess,
After
when he
Shaq?
left. No, when he left Miami. I mean, Miami it's like Jordan leaving the Bulls.
I thought he was always playing. He hasn't been playing?
He's been playing, but he went to another team.
But what team does he
right?
play on now?
I want to.
Did he won a ring, right, with Shaq?
Yes.
In Miami?
Yeah. They won a couple of rings.
Because Dwayne Wade used to be a hot commodity back in the day. I don't know how far back in the day that was.
When he was at Miami. And he's been playing for...
Been playing for how long?
Maybe Dwayne Wade should go play in China.
Right. I'm trying to tell you.
He was offered $25 million.
$25 million.
Was that just for 1 year?
3 years.
For 3
years. 3-year
years.
deal. I'd have been like, I am off to China.
Maybe.
Because I just don't feel, the league is going to look so crazy next year. Trust. LeBron is in freaking LA. I don't know who else they have on their team because they didn't have anybody before LeBron.
Oh, he was in Cleveland.
He was in Cleveland. Gotcha.
Was he in Cleveland?
Then I don't even remember that.
I didn't even watch.
So that's why he definitely needs to go, because we forgot all about him.
So wait a minute. So did he went to Cleveland after the Heat? He basically followed King James to Cleveland?
But he's back.
I guess
he's
so.
back on the Heat.
Hold on
Look,
a second.
I'm
Free
trying to
agent
tell
guard
you, he
Dwayne
needs to
Wade
go
has
to
been offered
China.
a
He was
3
with
year.
the Heat, then he was with the Bulls, then he was with Cleveland, and now he's back with the Heat.
I don't understand.
He's a free agent.
Free agent guard Dwayne Wade has been offered a 3 year, $25 million contract by the Zhejiang Golden Bulls.
The Zhejiang Golden. That's ego right there. He ain't going. He can't go play for Xinjiang.
He got to play for Xinjiang all that money. Xinjiang money.
Wait, what do you play for now?
Jigga-lang.
He can't end his career like that.
Man, you don't know. He need to end his career getting bread.
$25 million though, man. I would Xinjiang it. I would Xinjiang.
Oh, before taxes. Oh.
Xinjiang.
That would make him the highest paid player in China, slightly ahead of Andre Blatch, who plays for the Xinjiang.
The Xinjiangs.
That's a different one. Xinjiang and the Chinese Basketball Association.
Oh,
CBA.
There's more Xinjiangs. There's more than one.
Xinjiangs. Apparently. Well, maybe I probably mispronounced Zhejiang and Xinjiang. Oh, Zhejiang is where he's going. Xinjiang is where the other dude plays.
Oh, okay.
It also will be one of the largest overseas deals ever. Josh Childress received $6 million after taxes from the Greek club Olympiakos in 2008.
Just think about this.
They got money out
This is
overseas.
money after you have finished your NBA career, right? So you done already made money. Now you're finna go make this extra money. It's still on. The 3-on-3s.
The what?
Summer.
Ice Cube has a league for old players,
Retired players. It's a 3-on-3. Half court.
Right.
He's actually filling up, doing good with ticket sales and stuff too.
Where are they at? Are they just one city?
Don't get me. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There's one city.
If they get
Angeles
Dominique
only?
Wilkins out there, I'm going. I used to love me some Dominique
Yeah,
Wilkins.
they have it going on.
Ooh, and Grandmama Larry Johnson.
You
Do they got Michael Jordan money?
no
Nah.
That's how they gonna get me out there. Give me some Jordan.
no.
Oh man, I don't know. So he finished last season with the Miami Heat, the team he's played for the majority of his 15 seasons. The 12-time All-Star averaged 11 points in 67 games for the Cleveland Cavaliers and Heat last season. So I guess half the season with the Cavaliers, part of the season with the Cavaliers, part of the season with the Heat?
It happens when you get traded.
Man, when you start getting moved around,
Yeah.
maybe it's time to go to Xinjiang.
Right. Xinjiang, zoom, zoom, zoom,
I'm gonna be over here half the time. Now I'm gonna come over here half the
$1
time.
million for the whole 3 years or per year?
3 years.
3 years
I mean, that's a
before
lot of money to
taxes.
us. I don't know if that's a lot of money to Dwayne Wade.
I don't know if it's worth it, but I know he needs to
like
go
I
ahead
said,
and get
if
his
you
savings.
start getting moved around here and there, nobody gonna try to keep you.
There's no real. He don't have no real contract money no more for the NBA. So now it's either go get this $25 million and call it rap, and then retire and live your life as Dwayne Wade, the retired NBA player, or
and I'm sure he'll be in the Hall of Fame at some point,
right?
too,
And
he's that
get
good.
hurt or act a fool or be shamed in this last year. Look, the NBA is gonna look totally crazy. Spurs are gonna look crazy.
How many times was Shaquille O'Neal moved around before? You know, he was at the Heat, and then he was like on a different team every year until he was like, okay, I get it.
Go ahead and go.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Spurs, Tony Parker. I wish Ginobili would go ahead and get that picture, but I think he's still coming back too. Ginobili.
He's still coming back?
I think he is. I think he might be the only one because Tony Parker's leaving and going somewhere for a year for like $5 million for like a year contract, some crap like that.
He's not retiring?
No, he's going to another team.
I understood this morning. I think I heard this morning. It was 4 o'clock, so I don't know. But I think I heard this morning that Kawhi Leonard is actually going to be at the practices at
the Spurs practices.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
No. It was some other something. What is the other thing they said he wasn't showing up to, but they wanted him at the USA something?
And that David Robinson was like hitting him up, trying to talk to him, and he's not answering. But I understood that Kawhi Leonard was going to be practicing at the Spurs.
No,
in the beginning of the thing.
That can't be right. That can't be right. That's just so people can throw tomatoes at him.
He's skipping USA basketball mini camp, so that's what they're trying to get him to come to, the USA basketball mini camp.
Oh, because they wanted to pay for the Olympics.
I'm assuming.
And you don't
so I heard that on the news that he was supposed to. They wanted him to come, and he wasn't
because
going.
Popovich is coaching that, and he's like, no,
thanks. Wanted him to come, he wasn't going, and then David wanted to talk to him.
So he's not gonna play in the Olympics because Coach Pop is coaching the Olympic team this year.
That's stupid.
That is stupid.
That is stupid. I haven't been, as mad at Kawhi as everybody else has been, because I'm just gonna say it. Maybe I don't know. I wasn't there, but as a parent of an athlete, even a child athlete, I know that there are times that the team puts itself ahead of the health of the athlete, and that's a real thing. Like, where they'll be like, no, you can play, but you're like, no, it still hurts, and they're like, no, you can go in. And so that was what Kawhi was saying was happening to him, that the Spurs organization was putting his health, the team, above his health. When his doctors were like, no, you still need to be rehabbing, blah, blah, blah.
That was the first story.
And that was what he said. And then then it became everything else about Tony Parker kind of ragging on him and saying some inappropriate things. Pop not shutting it down. It became an issue. And then it just became more and more and more and more and more stuff.
Yeah.
But I understood at the beginning because, again, sometimes
no, they will put the team over the health of your knee, honey. And but then, Pop is pretty good at not playing players until they're ready too. Right. Like back in the day when we had the star team and everything, and people would get hurt and they would want to come back in, he'd be like, "No, you sit in this game
and
now."
I saw David just gave an interview. So David said that. He said, Spurs used to get a rap for going too far the other way. Right. That they would sit people out too long.
That's always been Pop's thing. Pop will sit you out for an extra game just to make sure. Yeah. Like, I need to make sure you good before. So that's what surprised me, because I'm like, okay, if it got past Pop's time limit when he's the long dude, then maybe you might have been okay.
Right. And then I didn't know this, but the team was still traveling. A lot of times people, you part of the team, you go even if you're not playing. They say he was like chilling.
Yeah,
like
he didn't want to go. He was in LA. And he wasn't traveling with the team. He wasn't going to games. He wasn't down here at all. Then like, we are in midst of game stuff. You kicking it.
So that's I was like, that's weird. That is weird.
So, but we're definitely going to look completely different, as you know, with no Tony Parker, no Kawhi, no Danny Green, no anybody. I think Aldridge is still there, and some other folks, maybe. I don't know. I don't know, man. We're all going to find out when they come off the court in the first game.
Yep.
who's really, truly, truly on the team. But I like it because I know Pop got the #1 trade, if I'm not mistaken. However, he did the trade deal. He got a healthy person.
Next year's #1.
And next year's #1 trade.
I do know they get next year's #1.
So I was like, all right, because he's got to rebuild. He's got to rebuild anyway.
Are the Spurs going to be a really good team this year, or you think it's going to take time before they get back to
they got to rebuild
the playoffs?
I don't think that they won't make the playoffs. Pop's a beast.
Okay.
They did good. They made the playoffs this year, and they sucked.
Yeah, I was going to say, making the playoffs hasn't been a problem in San Antonio a very long time. It's getting past these rounds.
It's getting to the finals.
Getting to these finals, man.
Yeah. But
I look forward to the season. I mean, I've been to a couple games. Never been to a Spurs game, so I'm looking forward to it.
It's just fun. I love going to a Spurs game. It don't even matter who's playing or who they playing. I just have a good time at the game.
Now, is it $100,000 to enjoy a night out, a family of 4? Because I will say this. You go to Yankee Stadium, and there's actually, you can look it up, an average night to take a family of 4 to go see a Yankees game, because that would be our equivalent of the Spurs, right? Like, so always championship status kind of things, right? Matter of fact, I don't even want to lie to you. Family of 4 to a Yankee game.
Google anything. Isn't that terrible?
Let me see. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yankee game for a family of 4 minus, like, this is just tickets. $337.
Oh, good Lord!
Just to go.
Well, that's less than $100 a seat. Now, so the thing about the Spurs, you can get into
a seat.
The Spurs, but
for $20 seats. They got the $10. They got $10 seat sections.
Yeah.
It's the very last row.
You gonna be hunched over like this because your back gonna be up against the top.
It's the very last row. The last.
Touch the ceiling like this.
Depending on what game it is or what part of what time of the season it is, the very top, like the last 5, 6, 10 rows, those are $10 seats. And then if it's playoff stuff, they might be if it's playoffs, then they might be $50, $60. But like even in a regular season, say we playing a really good game or whatever, the most they go up to is $20. But those are $10 seats, so you can take a family of 4 for $40. But
to go see the Spurs. Well, just for tickets.
Yes.
And then how much is like a Coke?
So
how much is a Coke and a hot dog?
A hot dog, Coke, $8 for both.
Oh my gosh, this is great.
Yeah.
This is great. When
the
last game that I went to go see was in Miami. Thank God I didn't have to go. I didn't have to pay the tickets, right? Because I was working. The cheapest ticket to go see the Miami Heat at the time, this was 4 years ago, $87.50 for the highest nosebleed. You're back up against the wall of the arena. Yeah. $87 a night per ticket. Then you go. Yeah, but I mean, come on. So that's still just a whole lot of money, right? That's just a lot of money.
When we were in
$10
the playoffs,
for a Coke.
When we were in the playoffs,
$13 for a hot dog.
Finals.
Like, what are we doing?
Tickets were still $200 a seat for the 300. For nothing was over $500. But
for the finals, for the NBA finals.
For the NBA finals, nothing was over $500.
But you also still only going to pay $6 for a Coke or movie theater prices, but cheap movie theater prices.
Yeah, but if you go to, they're going to switch. Them prices ain't the same in LA and everywhere else during the freaking NBA finals.
During anything,
right. But even in the NBA finals in San Antonio, you're only going to see about maybe 2-3 stars. Compared to being in California, like literally, I think that they put them ticket prices because of who's in the building.
Yeah,
they do.
So you gonna see all these folks or whatever.
The nachos at the Spurs game, they got a good nacho place.
They do got some good nachos.
And I don't mean like the stadium nachos with just the cheese, but
you can get like some full
with the chicken and everything.
Barbecue brisket. It's pretty good.
Okay,
yes, Lord.
I can't wait.
Don't eat the popcorn at there though.
Why?
Because you know how popcorn is. I feel popcorn's like that anywhere, but whatever's left over from the game night before is the first served when.
Okay. You'll have to go after halftime. Go get some popcorn.
Gotta make sure.
Let me get the halftime popcorn. I want this right now. Can I just pay for it now and come back in 1 hour and 13 minutes, please?
All I'm saying is the last thing popped that stays until it's the first thing served.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's hoping that's a lie.
Right. He said,
I bought some popcorn Sunday. It's delicious. I still eat popcorn. I was hungry. I bought the biggest. It's too big. I bought a big old bag of gourmet popcorn.
Oh yeah, I'm all about Christmas time with the 3 flavors.
What?
Holla at your girl in the cans.
Yes.
So
I don't want
good.
to talk about the place
I'm on
because I'm
some
sure they
more.
never will check in. But it's the place got 170 flavors of popcorn. And
170?
I was in that thing like.
Let me taste them.
They got 3 different pickles. They got a regular pickle, a fried pickle, and some other kind of pickle. They got, It was amazing.
That's amazing.
Oh, it's amazing.
Write that place down. Anyway, we gonna go now. It's 10:35, 39. Time to go. But there's some things that you need to remember. One, come to Jamaica tonight because we will be there meeting Miss Erica from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and of course she is in the play Unfaithful. So
Unfaithful is a part of life. That's not the
all
song.
right. So make sure that you definitely come out, meet her, get some autographs or whatever. I don't even know what we do these days. Remember the
Take pictures.
autograph books we used to have, and you get the little
Yes,
autograph?
I have one.
I had
that's
Lena
got
Horne's autograph in there.
Jazzy Jeff's autograph
Nice,
in there.
nice.
LL Cool J. A whole bunch of people I
Nice.
met in high school.
Yeah, I used to, man, those autograph books. Anyway, so that's happening tomorrow morning. She'll be here in the studio, so we'll give away some tickets tomorrow morning for that. Go support, though. It's at the Tobin. Tickets are on sale now. Work that out.
7 o'clock at the Tobin. Shirley Murdoch, Little G
Yes.
from Silk, Erica Dixon from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I've seen clips. That play is amazing. The main chick who's at the top of the flyer, I'm not familiar with her, but I heard her sing, and I was like,
What just happened here?
I don't know. She's
Yeah.
amazing.
I
So,
love
like,
it.
that play is getting ready to be fire.
It's going to be fire. Y'all
Yeah.
don't miss it. Don't miss it. So the tickets are on sale now for that. Also, you know, it's the end of the month, so there's always jazz and poetry going on. You already know karaoke night and open mic over at Uptown 78.
Yes.
Jazzed Up Friday every Friday at Breathe. We have Top Shelf SA in the house this
Shelf.
Friday. So doors open at 5. Free food. Hot food starts served at 6. Band starts about 7 o'clock. And we go all the way until 10 o'clock. And then after that is DJ Direct on the 1s and 2s. So come on out. Ticket giveaway off the woohoo from Jazzed Up Fridays because we got all kinds of tickets. Maxwell's coming to town. We got those tickets. Drew Hill's coming to town. We got those tickets. And H-Town will be here on Saturday. So we just might have one other pair to give away on Friday for that. So that's going on at Jazzed Up. K-Pasa, which is the opportunity for my artists out there. Today is your last day to go rub some shoulders, so make sure you go to the Tool Yard. I think it's from 6 to 8, and that's
Rub elbows, don't rub shoulders. That's creepy.
Rub elbows, right?
I know.
Right.
Gotcha.
Sorry,
Be like, hey,
that's too close.
you need a painting in your restaurant?
But yeah, go up there and network. Okay, and of course, San Antonio. What's PASA stand for? Public Art San Antonio. Thank you.
Welcome.
Or you can just look them up, call them, go to the office, talk, network. I'm an artist. I want to be there. I want to do some things. I want my art in San Antonio. Speak out, right? To get this opportunity. Omega White Party right around the corner, so make sure you get your tickets for that. Twisted Thoughts, which is a poetry event that's happening at the Web House. Make sure that you are in the building. That is the same day as the White Party, but it's before. So it's early in the afternoon, and the White Party is later on, so you can do one of those double, go there, then wear your white, go get something to eat, then boom, hit the White Party and make a whole night of it, right?
Word.
The new month is right around the corner, right? What day is that?
That's
That's
this is the
Saturday.
8th anniversary 70s costume party.
Yes.
At
Uptown
Uptown
78. Yes. So
Oh.
make sure you definitely go and celebrate another year of business with them.
Word
Since we do have a new month coming up right around the corner, you know, all the things come back. Second verse, Lion's Den, everything that's monthly, our second Sunday jazz, second Sunday brunch, all that good stuff comes back in effect in August. And so Definitely. And then August 1st, of course, is our birthday. So 7 years of that. We will be here celebrating from 6 to 8 or 6 to 9 or 6 to whenever we decide to go home. At the station, right? Could be the event center. I don't know. You might not come and check it out. And then Friday, we'll have the official birthday party at Breathe for Jazzed Up Friday between 6 and 10. So, you know, all gifts, money, gift cards are welcomed for everybody that's here. You can bring Glow something because she's been part of the station since day one. Zay, you can bring him something because he's the newbie at the station.
He likes things.
You can bring me stuff because
she is the station.
Boom. We're going to make it happen. We like things. So all good stuff. Everything will be updated and fabulously on the website and on the app. So make sure you download the app. 99 cents, yes, but it goes towards great things in our community and uplifting and rebuilding and doing whatever it is that we need to do to make stuff better. Other than that, that's all I got. That's all I got for you. I probably got a little bit more, but we'll wait till tomorrow. We'll wait for tomorrow. Dear Lord, thank you so very much for waking us up for another day and giving us another opportunity to uplift the kingdom. Thank you for making this system able for us to at least talk on this morning and then play music when we're done talking, dear Lord. You find a way. Thank you, Lord. Put us where we need to be this week, in front of the people that we need to be in front of, and give us the courage, the passion, the want, the abilities to do the things that we know are the right things to do that will bring glory to your name. Give us traveling grace this morning, and of course, let's keep joy in our hearts, knowing all things are possible through you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen, amen, amen. All right, my friends, we will talk to you later.
Keep it sexy, San Antonio. We Dorothy. Kissy face. We out of here. What do I push?
I was thinking the same thing.
Just kidding.
Yeah, we're out.
I know what okay, now.
Baby, lover said I never like this before.